Çalıştayımızın son oturumuna hoş geldiniz. Şimdi konuşmasını yapmak üzere Mohammad Saud Alem Qasmi'nin Relation of Ulema and Sultan during the Tughlaq Dynasty adlı
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The topic of my paper is relation of ulama and rulers in Tughlaq dynasty. Actually, I wanted to write on the life and contribution of Sheikh Abdul Haq Muhammad Dehlavi, but since I am teaching there in Aligarh Muslim University, the Muslim history in India, so I prefer to write on the top people who were rulers of India. So, with your permission, sir, I present my paper. I will not read the whole paper, rather I will prefer to choose some aspect of my paper. The Tughlaq dynasty was founded by Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, earlier known as Ghazi Malik, who became the Sultan of Delhi after defeating Khusro Khan in 1328. The last king of Tughlaq dynasty was Mahmud Shah, who was defeated in 1413 by Timur. The Tughlaq dynasty ruled over India 93 years. Now the period is short but full of administrative experiments and political adventures. The word Tughlaq is a tribal name. Noted historian Arishta suggests that Tughlaq is an Indian corruption of Putna, a regular Turkish substantive, and the Indian people changed this word into Tughlaq. Arishta also mentioned that Malik Tughlaq, father of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, was one of Turkish slave of Ghiyasuddin Balkh, who married with a woman of Jat origin in the Punjab. Now Punjab province in India and also in Pakistan. Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was offspring of that marriage. Ibn Battuta, the famous traveler, narrates that Shaykh Ruknuddin of Multan Shrine told him that the tribe of Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq belonged to Turks, which is popularly known as Aran. It has also been supported by noted historian Ishwari Bashar. Mehdi Hasan is also of the view that if Tughlaq or his father came to settle in India from Turkey under Balban and afterwards rose to prominence as Farishta informs us, he should be a Turk rather than a Mughal, since Balban hated the Mughals and welcomed the Turks. Early Muslim rulers of Delhi Sultanate were Mamluk of Turkish origin. Sultan Qutbuddin Aybak, who established Delhi Sultanate in 1206 AD, himself was originally one of slaves of Sultan Mohammad Shahabuddin Ghauri. His successor Sultan Shamsuddin Al-Qutmish and his successor Sultan Ghiyasuddin Balban were also erstwhile Mamluk. The predecessors of Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Alauddin Khalji and Jalaluddin Khalji, were also Mamluk of Turkish origin. The author of the history of Seljuk mentioned that Turk bin Jafis had 11 sons. One of them was Khalid, and his offspring is called Khalji. These rulers of Turkish origin were men of character, commitment. They were brave and played a vital role in shaping the destiny of Muslim India. They were intelligent and especially trained for military and administrative services. They were considered a great source of the strength of the Muslim rule. Qutbuddin Mubarak Shah Khalji, the last king of Khalji dynasty, was assassinated by his own servant Khusro Khan. He belonged to Barbari caste of Gujarat and his real name is not known. The king was very influenced by him and appointed him as Wazir. After killing the Sultan and his brothers, Khusro Khan declared himself as Sultan of Delhi. He kept the wife of Sultan Qutbuddin for himself and distributed other women of royal family among his non-Muslim kinsmen. He humiliated Muslims and disgraced the mosque and burnt the Quran. The heinous crime of Khosrow Khan deeply hurted Ghazi Malik, the then governor of Ripalpur. Because Sultan Qutbuddin Shah was his patron and benefactor, the high position he held was all due to his family of Sultan Qutbuddin Mubarak Shah. Ghazi Malik collected his army and marched towards Delhi to overthrow Khosrow Khan. After a fierce battle, Khosrow Khan was defeated. Ghazi Malik only intended to take revenge from Khosrow Khan and not to capture the throne of Delhi. The next day of victory, he addressed the gathering of officers, amirs and courtmen and said that I have not come here to rule over Delhi, but just I came here to take revenge from this, it is called in Urdu Namak Haram. In answer to this assembly replied, not a single son of Alauddin and Qutbuddin fit to rule has survived the tyranny of these great. Finally, Ghazi Malik ascended the throne of Delhi Sultanate. Sayyid Barni, noted historian, says, fresh life was imparted to Islam and Muslims and symbols of inferiority were removed. Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq took keen interest in implementation of justice and emerged as a protector of Islamic Sharia. He appointed Qadi, Mufti and Muqtasid to regulate the society according to the Islamic teaching. That is why these people were considered respected and revered among all. This was all due to patronage of Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Sultan maintained his good relations with ulama and mashayikh on special occasions. At the time of arrival of Fatahnama, letters of victory, marriage, the birth of every son, and circumcision of every prince, he used to summon all the sadars, dignitaries, ulama, muftis, teachers, preachers, and students of the city to the palace and gave away rewards to every one of them in accordance with their status. He also sent money to the saints to fulfill their needs, though he had great regard for them, but he didn't agree with the Sufi music Sema, which was popular in the circle of saints of Chishti order. That is why there was a dispute between Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and Shaykh Nizamuddin Auliya on this very particular issue. The renowned poet Amir Khusru, again he was Turkish origin, depicted the style of kinship of Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq in following couplet. Khaware na khair juz bekam aulatil mu'atul gui ki sad imama wazir kula. He never set his hand to any task but performed it well through his knowledge and wisdom. It looks as if he wore 100 bird turbans under his crown. Sultan Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq appointed his son Fakhrul Malik Duna Khan, later Sultan Muhammad Shah, as his heir in 1322, and Sultan Muhammad Shah ascended the throne in 1325. He was very intelligent and powerful ruler of Tughlaq dynasty, like his father. He was strong enough to meet any difficult situation. Historian Ziauddin Barni considers him as one of the wonders of the God's creation. Sultan Muhammad was knowledgeable Hafiz al-Quran and also an intellectual person. He was adept in theology, philosophy, medicine, mathematics, history and astronomy. His personal life was very simple and pure. He never indulged openly in anything. He never touched wine and never transgressed the limits set in Sharia regarding women. He prohibited consumption of wine in his kingdom. He offered prayer regularly with congregation. He also performed nawafil and waqa'is. He recited the Holy Quran and observed fasting even in illness. He was humble and obedient to his mother. He also commanded to punish those Muslims who did not offer prayer. Sultan Muhammad Shah Tughlaq took special interest in Islamic jurisprudence. He had full command on Hidayah, and some people say that he was Hafiz of Hidayah. A famous book of Islamic jurisprudence of Hanafi school of thought. Sultan Muhammad Tughlaq established a number of madrasas and appointed teachers to impart religious education. He also advised ulama and mashayikh to preach Islam among non-Muslims in different parts of the country. It is generally believed that Sultan Muhammad Shah Tughlaq shifted his capital from Delhi to Deobir Daulatabad. The decision of the Sultan was very much criticized. Ziauddin Barni observes, the second idea of Sultan Muhammad, whose implementation led to the ruin of the capital city, is purpose of the elite and but some noted historians are of the view that the motive behind the decision was to spread Islam in Deccan and to extend Islamic civilization in that region. And I have quoted here some historians, but due to paucity of time, I will skip. Sultan Muhammad Shah Tughlaq appointed Ibn Battuta as Qadi of Delhi, Qadi Samiuddin as Qadi of Deobir, and Qadi Kamaluddin as Qadi al-Qudat of Delhi. Mehdi Hasan observed, he had great liking of men of learning and loved to associate with the ulama and mashayikh, the Sufis and the philosophers. He had great respect for saints like Shaykh Husnuddin Multani and Shaykh Nizamuddin Awliya. It was from them that he drew his inspiration, and to them he was indebted for his initiation into Sufism. Sultan Muhammad Shah Tughlaq had revolutionary ideas regarding political and religious affairs. He was also interested in ijtihad, but he could not implement his ambitious projects and died on the bank of river Sindh in 1351, and his agenda was left unfinished. Abu Muzaffar Shah Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq was uncle son of Sultan Muhammad Tughlaq, who took over the charge of Delhi Sultanate after the death of Sultan Muhammad Shah Tughlaq. He ruled over India for 38 years approximately. He was very much popular among ulama, mashayikh and common people for his religious sentiments and commitment with Islamic Sharia. Barni tells us, since the day when the Delhi was conquered and Islam made its appearance in Hindustan, there has been no ruler after Sultan Muizuddin Muhammad Shah who was more mild, bashful, kind, compassionate, grateful, loyal, and possessed of pure belief in Islam than the Sultan of age and time, Firoz Shah Sultan. Some people considered him as a saint of his time. The Sultan also wanted to be in the good book of all sections of ulama and mashayikh. He was also popular among the people due to his policy of forgiveness instead of punishment. Firoz Shah Tughlaq had profound knowledge of Islamic jurisprudence and gave a special emphasis on it. He frequently consulted ulama and jurists to obtain their opinion in political and administrative affairs. The official historian of Firoz Shah reign, Shams Siraj Afif, narrates, ulama and mashayikh were near to the king all the time. Therefore, Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq was always in position to know unlawful and unpleasant things. This respected group also apprised the king about the lawful and unlawful revenues of the government. Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq gave up all unlawful revenues according to Islamic Sharia, thus he bare great fiscal deficit. Due to his patronage of jurists and fuqaha and special interest in fiqh, the reign of Firoz Shah Tughlaq is known as golden age of the development of Islamic fiqh. He established 30 madrasas to disseminate Islamic knowledge and employed ulama and jurists. The most famous and central madrasa was Madrasa Firoz Shahi of Delhi. The madrasa is still in Nizamuddin. The students of madrasa were given stipend from the treasury of the Sultan. They were also provided lodging and food. The Sultan awarded ulama with awards and titles. Due to keen interest in Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq in Islamic jurisprudence, several books of fiqh and fatawa were compiled during his reign. Fatawa Firoz Shahi, a famous fatawa, as you know well, was compiled by Sadruddin Yaqub Muzaffar Kohrami. but the author died before its compilation. A group of ulama and scholars reviewed and edited this valuable book on the directive of Sultan Firshah Tughlaq. A similar book of Fatawa was compiled in the name of Fatawa Qarakhani. Another book of Fatawa was compiled by Ziauddin Barni in the name of Fatawa Jahadari on the statecraft. This was the first kind of Fatawa written during this Firshah Tughlaq. The very important book of Fatawa of this period was compiled by Ali bin al-Ala al-Hanafi in 30 volumes, and it was dedicated to Amir Tatar Khan. That is why it is called as Fatawa Tatar Khani. Amir Tatar Khan himself was a practicing Muslim and an Islamic scholar having Turkish blood. He was a great link between ulama and Sultan Firshah Tughlaq. Another book named Fatawa Firoz Shahi, Fawaid Firoz Shahi, which is a treatise on faith, worship, morality and dealings, was compiled by Sharif bin Mohammad al-Atai. A unique book was compiled in poetry named Tuhfatul Nasair, which was composed by Sheikh Yusuf Ghazal Dehlavi. Similarly, another book in jurisprudence entitled Tuhfatul Fuqaha was compiled in poetry dedicated to Rukunuddin Multani because he was the famous saint. But actually he was not author of that book. Teaching of Islamic jurisprudence had achieved a special position in Sultan Firshah Tughlaq's period. The knowledge of Islamic jurisprudence was also an important means of getting employment on the post of Mufti, Qadi, Muhtasib and Sadrul Qudus in the Sultanate. Barni observes most lead themselves in the teaching of religious sciences and learning the regulations of the Sharia and pray for the longevity of the life of the king. Historians are of the view that Sultan Firshah Tughlaq was under great influence of ulama and jurism. I have given some examples which were some controversial issues raised by some people there, and the role of Sultan was in question because he was under great influence on some sections of ulama. I would not like to go in detail. Sultan Firshah Tughlaq died in 1388 AD, and his grandson Fatah Khan became the king of Delhi Sultanate, but only after 5 months he was ousted by Abu Bakr Shah, who was killed in civil war in 1390 by slaves of Firoz Shah. And Nasiruddin Muhammad Shah became the king. Muhammad Shah also expired in 1395, and Humayun Sikandar Shah ascended the throne. He expired within 1 month, and Mahmud Shah became the king of Delhi Sultanate. Unfortunately, his reign was also full of turmoil and civil war. The successor of Sultan Firshah Tughlaq were not able to cope with the challenge of time, and they could not stop the army of Mughals who were stopped earlier by Firoz Shah and Muhammad bin Tughlaq Shah. They were puppets in the hands of Amir and slaves of Firoz Shah's reign. Ultimately, Timur attacked on Delhi Sultanate with the help of local Hindu Rajas and seized power from Mahmud Shah, the last king of Tughlaq dynasty. Thus, the Tughlaq dynasty was finished from India in 1412. Thank you very much.
Mohammad Alem Qasmi'ye bu oldukça bilgilendirici, hukuk açıcı bilginden dolayı teşekkür ediyoruz.